It's Newcastle 5, Villa 1, and it's the first game of the season. Football's back, baby. And I thought it was to be a lot closer than the result suggested. But not only we just beat Villa, we actually blew them away. And we had to win this game to make a statement regarding the games got coming up. City away, Liverpool home, Brighton away. And we were absolutely fantastic. The same cannot be said to you, Joe, unfortunately. But you know what it is, man? It's just a poor day for you, man. Poor day for the Villa.
Yeah. You know, going 1-0 down in 5 minutes is not just, you don't. The thing is, like there's not many grounds in England that intimidate players, but I can guarantee when I saw that atmosphere on the TV, I thought they all better be ready for this, because this is you know, and they weren't. They couldn't do it. I mean, I said if it was at Villa Park, it could have been an easy role reversal, but it wasn't. I said I don't get how from 4 months ago we beat yourselves 3-0 at Villa Park, and then you go beat us 5-1 at St James's Park yesterday. So I'm a bit like, we missed players. Obviously, we missed Buendia, Ramsey, and whoever. That's no excuse, because we should have been. You know, we still got quality in there, but you know, obviously the injury to Mings has put a huge dampener on it. It sounds like it's an ACL, a possible complete snap as well. So it could be easily up to 12 months. So that'll be his season over now. So, but yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, losing Tyrone Mings is an absolute massive dent at the back line. I mean, Paul Torres came on, and I said to myself, this guy's a really good player. But, you know, it's the pace of the Premier League. He got caught out absolutely big time. Yeah. You know what I mean? He'll come good, but he needs to get used to the pace of the Premier League. And for me, he looked a bit static.
Yeah. He hasn't. I think he's played obviously in our friendlies and everything. I think it was just he wasn't. I think that's probably the hardest ground to come on off the bench, because you got 50,000 Geordies screaming at you. They want you to, every time you touch the ball, they want it to go under your foot to their player. And I think that was probably it's a lesson. It's a lesson for all of them. I think they all learned something quite valuable. That, you know, just because we finished where we did last season doesn't mean, you know, that we're going to have a fantastic time this season. You know, I hope it brings a few of them down to earth. I'm not going to I know some people kind of said, it's only the first game of the season. I said, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. I thought we were attacking wise, I thought we'd done all right. But midfield wise and defensive wise, I thought we were absolutely awful. Absolutely. That was bad. But it summed it up when Mings was injured. You've seen all the Villa players in a huddle talking to each other, and all the Newcastle players were passing the ball to each other. So they were getting ready, while our lot was just having conversations. I said, I don't know what they were talking about, but that's that. You know, the simple adage is that's why you're in the Champions League, and well, that's why we're not. So that's easy. It's simple as that, really, mate.
Yeah. I mean, Moussa Diaby, you've been linked with him for about a year, and obviously it's a fan's choice, not the owner's choice. I thought first half he's really good. I thought I loved his movement, and he scored like an opportunity to score where Pope had no chance. It wasn't his fault, but the defence just all stood there. And this guy is going to go a long way. If you're going to get into Europe next season, I mean, I think you need a couple more players to help him out, and this guy's brilliant, and he will be brilliant for you. Yeah, he was probably the only bright thing about yesterday. He looked like something that we've needed for a long time. Just a player gets the ball, drives at them. You know, he can run past them, left foot, right foot. But he has to have the quality around him. I think. I know people don't like getting on his back, but Bailey I think his time's running out very quickly. I think he left Cash exposed every single time. And I think we need someone, you know, I mean, you know, for Buendia, you know, he's not the quickest like Bailey, but at least Buendia helped out. But Bailey just gave Cash no help, and it was always Anthony Gordon and the left back every single time. And then when Barnes came on, it was 2-on-1 every time. And
He's got decisions to make. He's got decisions to make on for Sunday. I think he's got to look at, you got beat that badly. You obviously Mings isn't going to play. Are you going to change? Torres will probably have to play. Are you going to change Konza over for Diego Carlos because Konza made an absolute hash for the third goal?
Did
Cash? He weren't partly his fault. He had no help, but again, like we had a chance with Watkins at 2-1, and he missed it. And I said Haaland or Kane buries that, and I said that's what we need. We need someone like, not those two. We ain't going to ever dream of getting those two, but we need someone who can get a chance out of nothing and they score it. Isaac got scored 2. Probably should have scored more, but that's what we need. We need someone like that now. And I think that yesterday showed it, because if we drew it back to 2-2, God knows what would have happened. We could have won 3-2. You could have won 3-2. Could have stayed 2-2. But I think that was massive when we went 2-1. It was 2-1 down as well. So not a great day in the office.
No, whether it was 3 or not, we got the opportunity to go 3-2, put a goal back and make a game of it. Matty Cash missed that open goal when Pope made a save, and then he fired it over the bar with a goal at his mercy. That was a turning point then, and then after that, we just run riot. I mean, Sandro Tonali, the whole game, he was magnificent, absolutely fantastic. You got to admit, man.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, do you know what? When he signed, I thought, what a signing this! What a signing this is! And I think a lot of people dwelled on, like, when I think it was in the friendly when he got bundled over by Buendia. Yeah. But I don't take notice of that because, to be fair, like, Buendia is only 5'7", but I tell you what, when he's running at speed, he's got a frame. And I'll tell you what, he probably does it to a lot of players. He doesn't. He is strong, and I said, like, that's not, and the thing was, he was running. Wendy was sprinting, Tonali was jogging, so momentum's going to go through Tonali. So I didn't take much of that, but Tonali I thought was absolutely I thought he was I've just looked at it and thought that's what Newcastle needed. They got him, and I said, I know Eddie Howe's on about, he'd love another player or two. I think you got Harvey Barnes, great signing. I think you got Livramento as well. I don't think you need particularly enough. Possibly, I'll probably say the only thing you might need is a left back. So I know, obviously, what's his name plays there quite a bit, Burns. But if he get, I think he's seen it. I think I've seen it a few times last season. He, anyone with pace like Saka, he was in trouble. But I think if you look at getting a left back, I think if you do, I mean, you might not have to, but I think you'll have a very good season again. Because I watched the Brentford Tottenham game. Tottenham actually looked decent, to be fair, without Harry Kane. I couldn't believe it. Arsenal looked a bit shaky. Yeah. It's an open. I think it's open season again. I don't think my prediction of third or fourth is going to happen. But you never know. But it's just one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you got Everton next at home, and it's going to be a big improvement because losing 5-1 against us is absolutely a disaster for your side. But having said that, I mean, Villa can bounce back under Henry. I think you've got the players to bounce back. I mean, you got Diaby, he looks a good player. You need to get Ramsey back. And also as well, I mean, Ollie Watkins had a chance as well. But other than that, he was really quiet. But other than that, I mean, Buendia, for me, he's a massive, massive miss. He could be out for months. And for me, I think that's a disaster for me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's out. Well, I think he said about 8 months. So you're looking April. So if he plays before the end of this season, we'll be lucky. So I think the main thing, John, I think we missed Ramsey in that game. I think when we played at Villa Park back end of last season against yourselves, he was brilliant. He kept he was causing all sorts of problems. And I just looked at it and I said we needed him in that game. That was, I would have happily swapped him for Bailey. But I think he's back hopefully end of the month. But yeah, reaction Sunday. It is needed. We can't. I don't think there'll be. If we lose that game, I think there'll be a lot of very concerned faces because, in all due respect to Everton, we shouldn't be losing against them. I don't think they've improved since last season. I watched a bit of the game yesterday against Fulham, and they didn't offer a lot. And I just think, surely we can't get beat by a team that doesn't offer anything up front. So, but I expect a reaction. I expect us to go out there and be way better. I think they've got to be up for it, because we've got the Europa League qualifiers in, or you've got Conference League qualifiers in just over, I think, a week Thursday. So, you know, they're all fighting for their place now for that game, for those two games mainly. So, and even potentially to be in the Europa, if we get through the playoffs, you know, all those players will want to play in it, but you know, they've got to make that spot their own. They can't just expect to just walk into that team. So we'll see what happens with that.
So basically, what you're saying is the players got to fix up quickly.
Yeah, they've got to. I think the high line. That was the first time I've seen our high line exposed, and it wasn't just exposed; it was absolutely like destroyed. You know, anyone like you got Almiron, you got Isaac, Wilson, Barnes, Gordon, all players with pace. Only needs to be timed just perfectly, and you know, that was quite alarming. That was for me to see that, and I think hopefully I'm going to try and hopefully he decides to kind of not do it as much, because it was too high last night. But I'm hoping that he kind of like just brings it a little bit back. But I'm not a manager. He's the manager. He gets paid to do it all, so it's up to him. But I'm not. I've got horrible loss. Really disappointed. But it's one game in. There's still 37 to go, so I'm not too. If it was 10 games in, like, I'll be alarmed. But I'm not. Well, I mean, we got beat 4-0. We got beat 4-0 at your place last season, and we turned out to have an all right season. So it don't really. It doesn't. It's just. I was just disappointed, because I just generally thought, like, you know, we haven't won there for so long. I thought that this is the time now. We want to catch the big guns early. Let's see what we can do. And like, you know, that was just to see. That was just gutting, really. But it's one of them. It just happened. It does happen, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, thank you so much for coming on there, Joe, for the fan cam. I really appreciate that. And guys, if my channel is now being partnered by Toffs Partnership, check out our new partner, Toffs. Get your retro shirts, www.toffs.com, 50% off with our exclusive discount code JSTV, and check out the website as well. Thank you so much indeed, Joe.